Welcome, everybody, to the Chinchilla Picking Podcast. It is March the 15th. That's the Ides of March, 2026 at 3:55 p.m. As always, we hope to be entertaining, educational, and uplifting because we want everyone to make money. My name is David Underwood, and I'm joined by the one and only, the Baron of Bonds himself, Brandon Beaver. Brandon, what's up?
What's up with you?
The Ides of March, man.
Looking at it.
The Ides of March. I've seen those, those Julius Caesar knife holder things. That's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Other than that, and saying A2 Brute to everybody named Brutus today, or every dog is, that's what else you do for the Ides of March.
I don't know. What do you?
St. Patty's Day is on Tuesday, isn't it, or Wednesday?
Something
Tuesday.
Like that.
St. Patty's Day is on Tuesday. Yes. So make sure you wear green on Tuesday.
I lost track. Well, I never did the green thing. The green beer thing when I was.
You did the beer thing. I remember that
in my 20s.
You did the beer. Yeah. Yeah. You would have been definitely. You would have definitely been at a St. Patrick's Day celebration.
Yeah, for
100%.
Sure. Yeah. Many of them. way too many of them.
Yes.
For a long time in my early 20s, every day was St. Patrick's Day.
It's St. Patty's Day again.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, we're glad we're here. We made it through alive. No St. Patty's Day for us, but I tell you this, I am off Tuesday, doing nothing. Got nothing planned besides maybe working out. So I might go do something St. Patrick's Day. I don't know what there is to do.
I don't know.
Besides go to a bar and drink.
I lost track of it.
Yeah, is there some place having corned beef and cabbage? I'll do that. I'll have some corned beef and cabbage.
Maybe.
Yeah, we'll see.
Some bars do breakfast for St. Patty's.
Yeah, they do. They do. Yeah. And then, I guess other news today is you got March Madness Selection Day for those of you who are gamblers. I know a few people who gamble all the time, which I find weird now that's a normal habit to have, is always be on your phone gambling. Versus 5-10 years ago, you would have been like, no, you have a problem. Now it's like, oh, that's normal.
Yeah.
No,
it's and the amount of ads that you see for it too. But like anything, like it's a problem if you let it become a problem.
Yeah.
Right.
I feel like a lot of people have let it become a problem. This is all they do.
Well, and I think that there's some personality types that are more,
prone
to that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Honestly, a lot of the times it's the go people.
So like people like me who are just constantly busy.
Yeah, but you're more disciplined. A lot of people don't have that discipline.
I'm disciplined now.
And your financial, your mind,
Stable.
Your mind leans towards financials, which is like mine too. Neither of us like to spend a lot of money.
No. Yeah, and you would never. Yeah, you would never. Yeah, I drive a Corolla. Come on now.
I drive a '97 Camry that I paid $5,000 for in cash.
I have a 2-bedroom condo. I don't exactly splurge all the time here on things. Yeah.
Right. Exactly. No. Exactly. Yeah. Other people see a Lamborghini going down the street and they're like, oh, look how much money that guy has. And then I'm like, look how much money that guy doesn't have anymore.
Well, yeah, there's that, but I'm not a car guy. If I was a car guy, if that was my thing, then okay.
Right.
I know car guys. I know a couple car guys. And to be a true car guy means you have to really be into it, even when you're broke and poor, and go to all the car shows and do all the things and soup up your Volkswagen because you don't have enough money for a nicer car, but that's the one you soup up. I know guys like that.
It's so hard, though, for me to spend money on things that aren't going to make money.
Really?
Oh,
I could do it. I could do it if it's something I enjoy. When I got into VR for all those years, Brandon, I have the vest, I have the gear, I have the gloves, I have all that because I got into it for a few years.
Yeah, I do buy, video games, and that's not going to be resellable, obviously, and football cards. So there is that. But at
skiing
least
and snowboarding, that cost me money.
Huh?
Skiing and snowboarding cost me money.
I guess that's true. So
it all depends what you're into.
Yeah, and just when it comes to the car and you lose 50% of the value when you drive it off the lot.
You're just worried about the value, man. If you're a car guy, you don't care about the value. You enjoy the car.
I guess that's true. Yeah. But but you look at gambling the same way. Like the ROI on that is I mean, they're
The
not
chances of
building
you,
giant casinos in Las Vegas because they give away money.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Even though Wynn just got sold,
Did it really?
I believe it was Wynn,
Pay
wasn't it?
attention to
Wynn?
that. I think so. Maybe.
Yeah,
I
I
don't
saw
know.
a headline. All right. Anyways, let's move into the show. Let's talk about stocks and investment. That's what people are here for. Rules, rules, rules. Brandon, I get together 5 to 10 minutes before the show, and we tell each other what we're going to talk about. You're here to lie back and forth, the bicker and the banter, right here on the show for you. And Brandon really likes a bicker, so let's see if we could get it done today, huh? Brandon, take it away. What you got?
Dave, are we witnessing the death of the Magnificent Seven, or is this the
No,
buying opportunity of a decade?
no.
All right,
Yes,
me either. I think it's a buying opportunity for sure. I
I,
don't know if it's
I,
a buying opportunity of a decade. I think April of last year was the buying opportunity of a decade when everything dipped off of Liberation Day tariffs. But right now, it's still a great buying opportunity. Amazon, I think, is a generational.
generational. You would call it
that.
generational?
Yeah, and I would actually say Microsoft is as well. I think those two right now are generational opportunities.
I'm gonna go look. Maybe I'm missing something, but I'm gonna check the ticket price on Microsoft while you talk. Go right ahead.
Well, Amazon is down 7% year to date. They
Okay.
just reported record revenues. They just surpassed Walmart as the world's highest revenue public company. They reported $716.9 billion in 2025 revenue, a record for them. They beat out revenue of Walmart. Walmart's revenue was $713.2 billion. Walmart held this top position in the Fortune 500 for 13 years, operating 10,500 physical locations globally, employing over 2 million people. When Walmart's founder, Sam Walton, passed away in 1992, Amazon didn't even exist. So, exponential growth, obviously, there for Amazon. It's continuing the record revenue last year, and yet it's down 7% year to date. Microsoft, meanwhile, also posting staggering software and cloud infrastructure growth. They achieved $281.7 billion for the fiscal year last year. The heart of Microsoft, and this is what people are worried about. The heart of Microsoft is Microsoft 365, their software suite, right?
Yep.
And everybody's predicting the death of software, and a lot of software companies are going to go under because of artificial intelligence, which we talked about last year. However,
I still don't get that. I still don't get that correlation. You need software.
Well, you talked about this like last week and the week before, where the traditional pricing model, the head count, for these companies is going to go down because artificial intelligence can do the job that 3 other people were doing in the past, and so the subscription model head count is going to drop. So people are thinking that's going to result in the drop of revenue. Microsoft 365 last year, though, posted a 16% increase in revenue.
It does. So here's what I will say. If you're forecasting could be the slow death of that, when you first notice something like this happening and you believe that with all your heart, it does tend to go up in the first 2 years of you seeing something like this before it drops off and fades away. It's the same thing with BlackBerry. When we first saw that Apple iPhone came out and they said that's going to be the end of BlackBerry, BlackBerry sales went up for the next couple of years, and then it declined and disappeared.
I think they're probably going to have to restructure how they're doing the subscription model, but I also think that they're in the works of doing that. What started this whole thing last year, Melius research analyst Ben Reitz, if I'm pronouncing his last name correctly, he said that we could be in the midst of a generational shift where money flows out of expensive application software companies and back into those who run the infrastructure that writes the software. That was something that spooked people, and then it started to come to fruition, still coming to fruition right now, and people started selling out of software kings like Microsoft. However, Microsoft's cloud business, mainly the Azure unit, this rents out servers for the internet. That's part of the infrastructure, and it's booming. Revenue grew 40% last quarter, boosted by seemingly insatiable demand for AI computing. So they're in on this infrastructure thing, right?
Yeah.
They also have multiple AI initiatives across their business software, including the flagship product 365. There's a $30 a month AI assistant for the Office apps named the Copilot. I think we all know who this is, the Copilot is, what the Copilot is, Microsoft 365 Copilot. After only 2 years, they've got 15 million paying customers for Copilot.
Huh. That's quite a lot of money.
Right. Yes. So they're doubling down now on the subscription model. And also, I mean, if you take Amazon and Microsoft and use that article that I have on the Chinchilla Picking website, they both pass like a rigid value investing framework. Both companies exhibit extremely great balance sheet fortresses, liquidity buffers, historical earning trajectories, high return equity profiles, and they're absolute cash cows. To me, these two companies are defensive plays. I don't understand why the market's not treating them like defensive plays. I understand the CapEx is very high. So Amazon, right, dropping a $200 billion capital expenditure bomb. Microsoft also is $83 billion of capital expenditures for artificial intelligence. If you use the Chinchilla Picking Podcast website article that I wrote on how to grade a stock, they're penalized for this. And this kind of just shows how you have to have logical, skeptical, but also like free thinking abilities when it comes to these things, because you have to think past the headline numbers. One thing that you're going to hear a lot, I think, in coming earnings reports is something called compute efficiency. So what we want to look at is, does the capital expenditures that they've announced, are those capital expenditures going to be efficient? Are they going to generate more money in the long run? Right?
Yes.
Yes, I agree.
All of the Fat Mag 7.
So think of compute efficiency like as a tech dividend. So if you spend $1 on a computer today, but it's twice more powerful than the one you bought last year, your efficiency is doubled.
Yep.
Right? Microsoft achieved what they called a 50% increase in throughput for OpenAI inferencing. What throughput is, it's a measure of how much work a system can compete in a specific amount of time. In artificial intelligence terms, it's usually measured in tokens per second, which is essentially how many words or characters that artificial intelligence can generate across all its users at once. Why this is important: Microsoft spent $37.5 billion this quarter, but because the increased throughput by 50%, they can serve millions more customers without having to buy 50% more chips. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Now, Amazon also announced their $200 billion CapEx plan for 2026. Their custom chips that they're making to try to surpass NVIDIA and not have to wait in line for NVIDIA's chips, Trainium and Graviton, now have a combined $10 billion plus annual revenue run rate. And it's growing at more than 100% a year. So this is
what do you
on
mean by revenue
exponential
run rate?
So this is how much money essentially that it's but both of them are projected to bring in the next year.
Okay.
Take all of the months of revenue, basically all 12 months, add it up. That's your projected annual revenue run rate. Up 100% year over year. Continuously growing. So the CapEx, the capital expenditures that these companies have announced, in my opinion, are capital expenditures that are building their moat. This is a physical barrier for other companies. They're not going to be able to touch them. No startup's going to be able to match this whatsoever. None. Are you following me, Dave?
I'm following you. I'm waiting. Where we're going with this?
So
Because
if
I mean, it
Microsoft,
sounds like okay, buy. That's all I'm hearing
yeah,
right now.
yeah, okay. So if Microsoft can generate 50% more AI answers for the same dollar of electricity and hardware, their profit margins will eventually expand. Here's the computational magic: their profit margins expand even if they don't raise prices.
Nice,
Yes.
nice. No,
Did you follow me
that's a
from point
buy.
A to point B there?
I did. Yes,
Okay, good. Because that's the magic of this. That's the magic of the computational compute efficiency
that's
here.
the magic
The
of
more efficient
AI.
these become, the more efficient artificial intelligence becomes, the more money they make even without raising prices.
Man, so they raise prices even more money.
Yes.
Crazy. It's printing money now. It's printing Microsoft's printing money.
So here's another thing that I want people to keep an eye out on: capital expenditures to operating profit ratio. So what they're spending versus what they're making, right? It's actually the capital expenditures divided by the operating profit ratio. Right now,
Yep.
that is very high. As efficiency starts to pick up and these companies' revenue per employee starts to pick back up again, you will start to see here's their capex to operating profit efficiency, very high for people who are listening to us right now, versus their revenue, which is a little bit lower. They switch places. So as that capex efficiency, as their efficiency goes up, their money will go up as well. The revenue will go up as well.
When I'm not hearing anything bad right now. Right now, I'm hearing you need to buy this now.
Yeah, absolutely. Buy both of them. Buy both stocks. I was going through
Amazon
them trying to
and
compare them.
Microsoft. So Amazon has the same thing going on.
It does, yeah. But Microsoft is a little bit better right now as far as the balance sheet goes, and as far as their debt goes. But both of these companies right now are exceptional value.
I haven't
They're
seen,
number
but
one and
Amazon.
number two in cloud.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Because Amazon Web Services and Microsoft Azure. Yeah.
Right, right. Even if the software apocalypse happens and Microsoft 365 starts to go down, Microsoft Azure benefits greatly. Microsoft wins either way.
There's no. I mean, a software apocalypse. Like, I'm still stuck on that because how do they see companies doing business without running software, or they just think it's a lower head count, so it's fewer licenses. And
Right.
if so,
But
then the people that leave generally start newer businesses, and like we're not going to have a shortage of businesses in America.
right. I agree with that. I also think that in regards to the software apocalypse, there are going to be companies that go under. There have been already, but with that being said, 90% of the time, what you're watching with artificial intelligence, you're watching artificial intelligence work in tandem with software.
Yeah, exactly. That's my
So
point.
as that increases, there's going to be a new revenue model for software based on artificial intelligence usage. That's going to take the
Yeah,
industry. It's not going to be a headcount anymore.
there you go. All
Yeah.
right,
Buy
cool.
both these companies. Buy both of them.
Buy both. Why not? Buy and hold.
Right. Right.
All right. Can I go into the company I got?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. So this is a company. I told Brandon the name of the company right before we started hitting record on the show. So that was the first time that he was told the name of the company. I did give him some statistics ahead of coming on the show. So like the balance sheet, income statement, yada yada yada.
Mm-hmm.
Company I'm going to talk about is Oklo. That's OKLO. 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 I know Brandon's right now probably pulling up on his phone or on his computer right now, trying to read up as much as he can on Oklo. What this is it has to do with nuclear reactors and uranium and all the parts and pieces that go with generating power by nuclear energy. That is what they do. They do a lot more of the services, the specializes, not really necessarily running all the reactors, quote unquote, the same. So it's not in relation to oil. It's not a rig who owns the oil rigs. It's more of a Schlumberger who services and provides some parts and pieces for these nuclear reactors. And That's kind of why I like them. Now, the first thing that you're going to do whenever you get to them, you're going to look at like their main chart, right? And you're going to pull it up and you're going to say, David, I don't like this chart whatsoever. Because if you go back to a 6 month chart, it looks like they almost hit $200 a share. Not too long ago back in, looks like here, I'm trying to get the correct date. October 16th, they were over there at $185 a share. And they're currently sitting at 58.37. So what are we talking about here right now? Why are you saying buy this at this point? If you go back even further, there was even more and more and more. So just recently with the data centers and with needing more of these power sources for AI and so forth, that's when you saw the run up of the stock price. Like all other nuclear power energy, there was a lot of them that ran up. A lot of them. Anything nuclear power took a huge run up. Some of them has stayed up and gone even higher, such as GE Vernova, which Brandon and I held. He still owns.
Yes.
I sold out. Took my money, but that was one that is still running up higher. It doesn't mean that all of these that ran up are now buys because they've taken a hit back down, but some are, some aren't. Oklo Energy, I believe,
Vistra.
is,
Yeah.
huh?
And Vistra.
And
I'm
Vistra.
adding Vistra to it. Yeah.
Add Vistra to that as well. Now, Oklo Energy recently just signed a deal with Meta, and this is important. And here's why: it's not necessarily the money it's going to make off the deal with Meta, or even the deals that it has in partnerships with the Department of Defense. It's what it provides, because if Oklo can deliver on these deals with Meta and Department of Defense, then that shows that they are a true partner, and now other companies will also work with them. Hopefully, maybe projects with GE Vernova in the future, maybe other projects with other bigger companies like Microsoft, Google, so on and so forth. Is what I'm hoping for will happen after they provide some good news here. Now they have an earnings call coming up. They are not a profitable company. They're pre-revenue is what we call a company like this, where they're still building out the product, building out developments, and they're trying to create a commercialization of it. I love these pre-revenue companies. Sometimes I get it right, sometimes I get them wrong. Lens is one I got wrong, and I'm still holding that, by the way. But that's another topic for another day. Um, this one I like because it had its huge run up. It came back down. It's more reasonably priced right now where it's at, and it's at a price that I like. The P ratio is at 14. If we get into some of these stats here, I just had it up and I just got to pull it right back up. Give me 1 second. Their total debt to assets is only 3.3%, so that's really good there. They again not profitable. Operating cash flows at negative 49 million, but their net cash flow is 313 million. So they got enough cash to last for a little bit there on hand,
Yeah.
which I like. Institutional ownership is 34%, which means it's more of a mature company as far as like who owns it, especially institutional fund ownership at 13%. Insiders only own 1.1%. So this is really owned by outside the company. It's definitely one that is been bought up by these funds and other companies as a whole here. Now, I believe in the future they got the earnings coming up on Tuesday. Earnings call on Tuesday. I think they're going to have some good news here, especially with these new contracts. They may even announce more. And so I'm buying ahead of the earnings on Tuesday. And even if the earnings are bad, Brandon, I want to preface this. Even if the earnings are bad and it goes down, I'm still holding. So I'm not going to go in with everything I want to buy right now.
Are they going to
But
have any revenue to report on this earnings?
they shouldn't. No.
Okay.
They just signed the
So
deals, and now unless Meta and Department of Defense prepaid for some things, which sometimes in these contracts that can happen. I did not get a chance to look into those contracts and deals yet to know if they prepaid for some things. But if they prepaid, then yes, they will have some. But if they didn't, which is more common, then yeah, there's not going to have any more. But I'm looking more for deals. Go ahead.
the leverage here for a startup, and they were a SPAC. They already completed the SPAC merger, though. So I think those risks are mostly out of the way. but the leverage here for a startup is actually really good. So they got 1.25 roughly $1.25 billion in assets, which actually is mostly cash from what I'm seeing, and marketable securities against only 41 million in liabilities. So their
Yeah.
depth is good.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's another reason why I like them. Yeah.
Yeah.
And they took the hit down recently with the move with the market after reaching their peak in October. Um, they still have a huge opportunity here. A lot of the big, I want to say big famous stock call-in companies, if you will, like Bazinga, Motley Fool, Fidelity, State Street, all those own them. They all own.
Nice.
They
So
all
that's a
own
big,
Oklo, and they're all
big vote of
invested, like majorly invested, and they need Oklo to go up in order to break even. Unless they buy in dollar cost average, they all need it to go above 100.
So this is a big vote of confidence for sure.
Yeah,
Um,
they all need it to go above 100, and
it's
so
still it's still highly risk. It's still high risk, but as far as the
yes,
high risk zero revenue plays goes, it's probably the lowest risk out of all those. They've got a long runway before they go bankrupt if they never have any revenue. So
exactly, and that's another reason why I like them. I like the news on this from a macroeconomic standpoint. I'm bullish even if they have a bad earnings on Tuesday. However, I'm that because of the earnings is coming up on Tuesday, and I just found just really dug into this company this weekend. That means I'm not going to go in 100% with my buy-in on Monday. I'm going to wait and hold some back to see what happens after the earnings call on Tuesday.
it's also backed by Sam Altman.
Yes, I know, I know, I like that because I believe that whenever he rolls out his AI, he's going to say, "Hey, I got this company here that can help you with your power generation.
Right.
You could definitely work with them and sign some contracts with them." And so, I like that. I think he's a big name right now in AI and data centers and all this stuff. I that's definitely a plus, if anything, for them.
Absolutely.
So, all in all, I think it's a buy. Again, I'm not going 100% in on Monday, but I am going a big chunk of what I want to put into this on Monday. And then we'll see what happens on the earnings call on Tuesday.
Yeah, it'll be volatile.
Yeah,
So yeah, you do want to not go 100% in right away. You want to spread it out to eliminate that volatility.
exactly. And I've looked on a lot of things here, there's a lot of companies that are saying sell. Some are saying buy. It's a big mixed bag. It really is, Brandon. It's a big mixed bag of the research companies saying buy and sell overall. I mean, I go on here, sentiment is weak right now. Fidelity gives you all these different scores. However, growth stability is high for this company. Like Fidelity is saying it's overvalued, but the growth stability is great. You know,
It's hard to say overvalued about something like this that has so much use for the
yes,
entire world, with the addressable market being basically everybody. I
yes,
mean, that's over
right.
time, that's over the next 50 years, but it's true. So how do you, I can't say a price to earnings ratio on this at 13 is overvalued. And then if you're comparing this to other companies that are zero, well, I don't know. How do we have a PE? Because you said the PE was 13.
They already put in earnings, but it's negative because they're spending money.
Well, it's got to be a future. It's got to be compared. It's got to be the next 12 months is what I would
Gotcha.
say. But probably future priced earnings is probably what that is after their revenue positive.
Well,
But
the short percentage is 15% short.
that's common now,
Yeah.
especially in a high interest rate environment. I wouldn't join those people, and I wouldn't short this right now at all.
Right.
The use for this is just, and I'm not trying to over pump this or anything, but the use case for this is just too high. And then if you're comparing this to other startups, it's not overvalued, in my opinion, comparatively speaking.
Yep.
So you can make the case either way. Of course, its revenue is zero right now, so anybody could say overvalued based on that. But yeah, the addressable market on this is huge.
Right, exactly, and that's why I like it. Oklo, that's my call this week. That's one I will be buying in. That's one I recommend now to people. But Oklo, Brandon, back to you. What else
Yeah,
you
I
got?
think fission's the next thing in nuclear. It's the
Yeah,
next thing. I mean, it's just, and I think
yeah.
that's obvious, but I mean, we're looking for efficient power that, doesn't add to the carbon footprint of humans. We're going to need that on a
Massive scale. And
massive
GE
scale.
Vernova is my example. They every time GE Vernova goes up $100 a share, they're like, this is overvalued, and then it goes up again, and then it
Right.
goes up again, and it's like, at what point, guys? They keep producing more of these because they need it. We need it.
I need my glasses back. Took my glasses off. I don't know why I did that. So we're going back to me, right? So
Yeah,
NVIDIA,
back to Brandon.
Jensen Huang.
Huang.
Is that how you say it? Okay.
It's Jensen Huang.
He's taking the stage tomorrow at the GPU Technology Conference. I think it's going to be around 11 a.m. and is expected to announce a surprise chip that they're saying is going to change how chips communicate, not just how they compute.
Okay.
So the two ways that you're kind of looking at artificial intelligence, there's training versus inference. Training is the study phase. That's when AI models like ChatGPT, they read the entire internet, they learn how to speak. It requires massive, expensive brain building chips like GPUs, and it takes months. The inference, that's when you ask AI a question. AI is no longer learning at that point in time. It's just using what it already knows to give you an answer, and it has to happen instantly. So, why do we need a new chip here? So, imagine a high performance race car like a traditional GPU. It's amazing for going 200 miles per hour down the racetrack, but you're not going to drive it to the grocery store.
Yeah.
I don't see anybody pulling up in a NASCAR at a grocery store. But
you said race car, not NASCAR.
Well, we'll talk NASCAR in a second. So the rumored chip is being built using technology from a company that they bought called Grok, GROQ. And it's built specifically to deliver answers at a lightning speed while using less power.
Okay. Again, so specifically for this purpose.
Computational efficiency. Yes. So it'll give you instant answers. They say it'll give you answers faster than you can read. I don't know, man. At 40 years old, that's already faster than I can read because I can't see a freaking thing anymore. But it's going to eliminate those tiny delays that make AI feel like a computer and instead make it feel like a more real-time conversation. Now, OpenAI is the first customer. They've already bought the surprise chip, so they knew it was coming. Me too. The rumor is that it'll make ChatGPT about 10 times faster to operate. So that's the new chip that's coming up from NVIDIA potentially tomorrow. That's what people are looking for.
I think Chat GPT is already fast enough. All these AIs are already fast. I mean, how much faster are they looking to get on these?
It's going to be able to do a lot more things too.
That's crazy. The faster they get, the more they would be able to. I mean, seriously, we are around the corner from Skynet.
I know.
Or exciting. Not.
Exciting and very scary.
Yeah. Well, along that same page, I want to read this article here. It's along the same line, so it kind of goes with this what we're talking about. And the headline reads: here's the headline: Musk says Tesla's mega AI chip fab project to be launched in 7 days. So this came out yesterday on a Reuters Newswires, and in it, it's a very short article. I'm going to read most of it, but not all of it, right? It's talking about the TerraFab project. It's to make artificial intelligence chips. Musk says it's going to launch in 7 days. He says he need this for his EV vehicles, for the self-driving. Musk has teased the AI 5 chip before and has reiterated that Tesla was also partnering with Taiwan Semiconductor and South Korea Samsung. The AI chips powers they currently power Tesla's autonomous driving systems, including the full self-driving software. Now, here's a quote from Musk last year. Even when we extrapolate the best case scenario for chip production from our suppliers, that's Taiwan Semiconductor and Korea Samsung, it's still not enough. So even at the best case scenario, Brandon, they're not making enough chips for Tesla that they need. First of all, that's a bullish case for Taiwan Semiconductor and probably NVIDIA and Samsung. Anyways, but so he said at the time was we're going to have to do a Tesla terafab. It's like a giga, but way bigger. They don't see any other way to get the volume chips that we're looking for. So I think we're probably going to have to build a gigantic chip fab. And it says it's got to be done. That's the quote from him. So he has to build his own factory. He's teasing it. He's saying this. They're getting ready to start work on it in 7 days. And it's just so that they can keep up with their own demand because they can't get enough from these chip makers. So if there was ever a case to buy NVIDIA or Taiwan Semiconductor, there's yet another reason why.
Exactly.
Not enough supply.
I know. Who would have thought that like we'd live to see a day where everybody essentially has a Johnny 5 and it's in your phone?
Right? I always tell people like this little device right here, the world is at your fingertips. Everything people complain about, I'm like, your answer is right here. You can solve so many of your problems right there. Now, your relationship problems, no, but you can see a therapist online.
Yeah, you could.
That can help you maybe talk your way through it. You could call your friend. You could call your family. You could have other people to talk to. You could talk to AI and work with AI and work through your problems. It's like even social problems like that, you could still use this as a tool to help you. Like there's so much you could do with your phone.
I know.
If but it's actually funny, use it as a tool and not just something to scroll and look at videos all day, it'd be amazing.
I just checked in with Gemini, and actually engineers are creating a full-scale version of Johnny 5. I hope I get to see it.
Nice.
One of my favorite movies ever. Short Circuit. Such a good movie.
It was great event. Yeah. Number 5 is alive. Here we go.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah. Just so much. And these ship makers, I mean, it's a bullish case all around for them. I think this is a good case for Tesla that he's just making his own factory. He's like, I'm just going to create my own factory now. And instead of using you guys to build my chips, I'm just going to build my own chips.
I think a lot of people are going that way, which is a bear case for NVIDIA because they're trying to get away from the cost and the long lines that they have to wait in to get these chips. But NVIDIA still got a long runway of growth, I think. It's too important. And they've got such a head start. And I know people, you look back at the internet, turn of the century in the year 2000 when everybody was thinking Netscape and AOL would be the big winners.
Yeah.
And of course it didn't happen. So it is possible that AMD or, Intel
Netscape.
gets its. Yeah. Remember Netscape Navigator?
I do. Yes.
That was a thing for a long time. But I just think they have such a head start. NVIDIA does. I don't think anybody's going to dethrone them for a long time, at least. Maybe AMD. AMD is the top competitor there, but just such a long runway to go.
Yep.
So.
All right. Next article. You ready, Brandon?
Yes.
This one. I love these articles I read because it only takes a few minutes to digest it and talk about it. It doesn't take long, 2 minutes, but it gives some good points sometimes. Sometimes, not all the time. Sometimes it's just, hey, this is cool. This one is a development in the Swiss government. So the headline reads, this came out in Reuters Newswire 2 hours ago. Swiss government to submit plan that could force UBS, that's the biggest Swiss bank in the world, to hold more capital, the report says. So the Swiss government is set to submit a bank regulation package to Parliament in April that could force UBS to hold more capital. The federal council plans to issue a so-called ordinance that would fully exclude certain balance sheet items as counting as capital. So in the past, you could count all these things as capital so that you wouldn't actually have to hold as much cash on hand. You could say, hey, this is capital as well. therefore we're in good standing. You know what I mean?
By
It's no
definition, those things probably are capital.
Well, it's okay, true, but like, so some of the changes are like software, no longer deferred tax assets, no longer paper reported, no longer, um, and then to list a few others, right?
Is
The
this
changes
just for banking?
just for banking and just in Switzerland right now. This is set to take effect on January 1st, 2027, and could cost UBS 10 billion Swiss francs
Goodness.
after the transition period. But that makes me question, you had 10 billion worth of Swiss francs that you were counting as capital that actually wasn't capital. I mean,
Yeah, how does that work? I don't
yeah,
get that either. But I also don't understand why you would. I mean, I do understand it, but they're subjugating the banking industry over there if this goes through to standards that don't apply to anybody else.
yes.
And standards that, quite frankly, actually really do work. I mean, this isn't anything like the Great Recession. This was not, that reads nothing to me like pre 2008 regulations
Well, you remember
whatsoever.
the fallout they had, I
Mhm.
think it was a year and a half ago in the Swiss banking,
I
you
do.
know?
Yeah.
Yeah. And that
Wasn't
this is
that
the
more
reason why this
small?
is all coming about. It was about
Okay.
a year. Was it a year ago about?
Maybe a year or two. I can't remember. It all bleeds together now.
It does. We've been doing this too long, Brandon.
I know. I know.
But yeah, this is a result of that. Where the Swiss banking industry had a big collapse. There was a lot of mergers. There were some banks that aren't around anymore, and UBS was a big winner. But now UBS has to pay for the mistakes of others
Yeah. And I
and
guess I just
themselves.
don't understand how one thing led to this. I don't get the logic behind it. Maybe I need to research it a little bit more. But I mean, you should be able to count your assets that you could sell for money as capital because that's essentially what capital is.
Yes, yes,
Anything that's productive. So I don't have the official definition in front of me, but capital is not just hard cash.
yeah. Well, now it's got to be hard cash or cash like a U.S. Treasury type thing.
Okay.
Um, yes. So the Reuters reported in December that the government was set to soften the part of the banking regulation package, but it did not. Switzerland's finance ministry declined to comment on the report, but the Federal Council would adopt the revision in the first half of this year. UBS also did not respond to requests for comment. So yeah, nobody's commenting on this, but this is what's being reported. Take that as
Okay.
you will.
The
They're
Swiss
not
have
denying
actually
it. They're
been
just not commenting on it.
the Swiss have actually been really like good with and smart with regulations compared to everybody else. I mean, they do have probably some dumb things that they do, but they've been a lot more targeted with regulations. So this surprises me, and it is something that I do want
Yeah.
to look into to see
You
if I
don't have
can
to pay
learn more.
taxes in
I
Switzerland.
know, I know,
That's why people bank there.
I know. The regulatory hurdles in Switzerland are actually like lower than they are here in the United States traditionally.
And that's why we have Swiss bank accounts because
Yep.
we want to put our money there.
Right. What are you drinking?
This is Ghost Energy. This
Oh, yeah, that's
podcast was
good
brought to you
stuff.
by Ghost Energy. I love
Love
this.
it. Love it. They sell it at Dick's Sporting Goods. I used to get them all the time.
I get like a 24 pack at Costco.
Nice.
Yeah. Just because I'm going from gym to gym to gym to gym all the time.
Right. Right.
Go from CrossFit to boxing to running to this or that and down them. All right. Brandon, you ready for some earnings this week?
Go ahead.
Very light earnings. Not a whole lot here coming up. Monday we got Dollar Tree. Not much we're gonna see there. Are they putting in one across from you? I don't know. Is your population of your town under 100? Probably. Uh,
Probably.
Tuesday, we have Oklo, of course. That's the one I was talking about. And Lululemon on Tuesday. Some more retail earnings there. See how they're doing. Wednesday, General Mills. Again, it'd be interesting to see the oh man, now I'm forgetting his name. Robert Kennedy. Sorry, thank you.
Yeah.
He's his crackdown on the diets and everything. That's why you see these Lay's naked potato chips in the stores right now, or hey, made of all natural stuff, Lay's chips. If you ever bought chips recently, Brandon, you'll see that in the chip aisle now. You're seeing all these changes made in America where they're taking out these artificial coloring and flavors out of these food packages, which is great. I'm all for that personally. But what does General Mills has to say? Is he coming after cereals next? It'll be something to look at. Macy's is more, again, retail. And this is one up your alley, Micron Technology. And
Micron MU. Yeah.
yep, they're coming up on Wednesday. Now, their selling prices for their parts are actually tracking higher. So they're selling their parts at a higher price. My question is that because they have to, or is it because they can?
I think it's because they can.
Well, we'll find out on Wednesday, won't we?
High demand for even Micron.
No, so they got to pay for the higher production.
Absolutely.
Thursday got Alibaba, so one of the biggest commercial sites in the world. Alibaba. Thursday, Darden Restaurants and FedEx. FedEx will give us a good look at the economy. How much are they shipping? Who's shipping? How much is shipping going up, down, what have you? That's a good overview of the economy. I think FedEx, UPS, whenever they announce earnings, it's good to see transportation wise. What are we shipping as a country? So
as long as inflation stays high, you got to stay away from Darden, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I mean, and how many times can you restructure? Like, how many times in the past 10 years have they completely changed their business model?
Well, it's those never end impossibles that Olive Gardens really does them in.
I know. The only reason why I would go.
I don't go.
That and the never-ending breadsticks, which I think they just recently
Yes.
bought. They just brought that back after just a couple of years ago saying this is what was bankrupting us. So we had to get rid of it, and now it's back again.
It's amazing these restaurants always say it's the never-ending things that bankrupt them.
Yeah, I know.
Red Lobster was a never-ending lobster, all-you-can-eat lobster. Now it's the never-ending breadsticks and salads. It's bankrupting Olive Garden.
Yeah, sorry about that.
I think Americans are just overweight, and we just eat way too much.
My fault, Darden.
Yeah, but that's the light earnings this week. Not much going on. We probably will see like light this for the rest of the quarter until April, and then April we'll get lots more earnings coming out. But there you go. Brandon, final thought. What do you have?
Buy these AI companies. They're not dead. They're not dead. The Max 7's not dead. We've heard this before in the past. It's not. They're getting more efficient. The capital expenditures, in my opinion, are them building moats, competitive moats, where nobody else is going to be able to touch them. These companies are going to continue to rule the world and solidify that position. In some cases, it's going to be unfortunate for people who are losing their jobs. But, hey, if artificial intelligence going to take all of our jobs, you might as well invest in it.
All right, here's my final thought. Number one, last week and a week before, last 2 weeks, I said if oil jumps above $100 a barrel, go ahead and short the market any way you can. And sure enough, oil jumped above $100 a barrel and then quickly dropped right back down. I was right to short the market.
Some analysts are saying that it's going to go above 150. Is that just doomsday?
Yes, doomsday people. Okay. It's going to push up, and it's going to stay up this time, but not that long. So that was going to be my next point. Last time I said short the market as soon as it goes above 100. Now it's like, okay, let's wait a second after it goes above 100, just a second, and then short it because it's not going to stay above $100 a barrel. But at what point do we short it? How long do we hold the short for? Yada, yada, yada. That's other questions. It all depends on the news coming out of Iran and where we're at with that situation there. I say it goes above. Now I'm going to change it to if it goes above 120, short it and hold the short no matter what. 120 is my new mark.
You're already out of your short, right?
Yeah, I already got out that day.
Okay.
I did this all Monday. Monday, it went above. I shorted everything, got out, made my money. I was out very quickly, made a ton of money. It was a great day for me. Very happy.
Okay.
Then I did some Tesla options the next day. It was even fantastic. I made even more money. It's been I'm just over here printing money, Brandon. What are you doing? I'm printing. Bitcoin is on the rise. Keep a lookout for that. It's been moving up. It's been countering the market as a whole, and everybody is now saying Bitcoin is going to be the play off of all this. I don't know about that. I don't know if I agree with that. It is what it is. What have you? So yes, Brandon, everybody's saying oil is going to go back up, but we'll wait and see what happens with the current situation. I believe the situation in the next couple of weeks is going to end up winding down. And that's just from a geopolitical event. There's not much left of the Navy of Iran. And so I don't know how they're going to close the Strait of Hormuz when they don't have any naval vessels.
So I hear different things about this. So like some people are saying, are they going to close it? And then some people say it's already closed. What's the reality with that?
Shipping vessels are getting through. Things are
Okay.
getting through, but just very slowly because I had to be careful. There are multiple countries sending Navy vessels to the strait to protect it. And it's mainly to protect it from missiles or anything else that can get there very quickly. Right now, as of the latest, every time the Iran has launched a fighter jet, it has been shot down in 60 seconds. However, since they have bases so close to the strait, they can get there in 60 seconds. You know what I mean?
Right.
So that's the problem. It's so close to that country. You know, like, yes, we can shoot it down in 60 seconds from when it launches in the air, but that's long enough for them to get there and blow up a tanker if it gets into the strait if they want to.
Gotcha.
So that's the problem. So, I believe this is going to be worked out, straightened out very shortly. I don't want to get all into the politics or the news or anything like that. That's just my strong belief. So I believe short in oil if
I,
it goes above 120.
I just saw a video on X and then I asked Grok if it was real, and it is. Israel shooting down a missile with a laser.
Yeah.
And the
Yeah.
laser, to shoot the laser, costs $3.50.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Israel, they got high tech stuff there. All right.
Yeah.
But yes, oil above 120, go ahead and sell it, short it, make your money, be happy, buy Oklo. Those are the ones that I have calls on. I think Bitcoin might go a little bit higher. Again, as soon as Bitcoin goes up 100,000 again, I'm selling my Bitcoin. That's what I've said before a couple weeks back. That's what I'm sticking with going forward. I think Tesla's a buy below 400 in the short term. If you want a short term mid swing this below 400, buy it. But above 400, don't. If you're going to swing trade it. Unless you're investing, then go ahead and just buy it whenever.
You've got a unique opportunity, by the way, with Amazon and Microsoft. The first time that I have ever seen their forward peg ratios below one.
Right.
Meaning you're paying less than $1 for every dollar of earnings growth they have.
It's a great opportunity to buy a lot of things at a discount right now.
Yes.
And that's why I'm looking for good discounts. And so we'll see.
Right.
All right. That's all I got. We thank everybody for listening. Please hit the subscribe button. As always, we hope we have been entertaining, educational, and uplifting because we want everyone to make money. Have a good night.
Have a good night.